Today's lesson is subtracting rational numbers. So we will do fractions first. So example 1, we have here 1/5 minus -4/5. So applying the rules for subtracting integers, we have here leave, change, opposite, and then step 2, apply the addition rules. So that means we will leave 1/5, change the subtraction sign into addition sign, and get the opposite of -4/5, which is 4/5. Then proceed to addition rules. You notice that these fractions are like fractions. So you have to keep the denominator, which is 5, and work on the numerators. So as you can see, both fractions are positive. So that means they are the rules for adding integers with the same sign. So what you're going to do is add and keep the common sign. So that means add the numerator. So 1 plus 4 is 5. Simplify this one. 5/5 is equal to 1. So 1 is the final answer. Second example is -4 and 1/7 minus 1/2. Now you notice that we have mixed number right here and a fraction. So first thing you will do is change the mixed number into improper fraction. So this will be 4 times 7 is 28, plus 1 is 29. Then keep the denominator. The negative sign is the same. And then minus 1/2. Now you notice that they have different denominators. So the common denominator for these fractions is 14. So what we're going to do is multiply this fraction, 29/7, by 2/2 minus 1/2, and multiply 1/2 by 7/7. So we have here 29 times 2 is 58, and then 7 times 2 is 14. Bring down the negative sign, minus 1 times 7 is 7. 2 times 7 is 14. Notice that they are like fractions now. So what you're going to do is, since this is subtraction, you will apply the rules for subtracting integers. So that means you will apply the LCO. So leave this, -58/14, change the subtraction sign into addition, and then opposite of 7/14 is -7/14. So now you notice here that they are fractions of the same signs. So you will use this rule. Same signs you will add, and then keep the common sign of your final answer. So here, 58 plus 7 is 65. Keep your denominator, which is 14. And then it says, keep the common sign. So the common sign is negative. So you have to keep negative sign. -65/14 is improper fraction. So you have to simplify your answer. -4 and 9/14. So this is your final answer. Next part is subtracting irrational numbers, which is decimals. So we have here example 2 4/10 minus 5 6/10. So applying the rule for subtracting integers, we have here the leave, change, opposite. So leave 2 4/10, change the minus sign into plus sign, and the opposite of 5 6/10 is -5 6/10. Now here, this is negative, and the other one is positive. So that means they are decimals of different signs. So if they are different signs, you will subtract and take the sign of the higher absolute value. So I will rewrite this, 5 6/10. And then we have 2 4/10. It says subtract for different signs. So you will subtract. So 6 minus 4 is 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. Finally, take the sign of the higher absolute value. So 5 and 6 tenths is higher or bigger than 2 and 4 tenths. So the sign of 5 and 6 tenths is negative. Therefore, the final answer is negative 3 and 2 tenths. So this is negative 3 and 2 tenths. Here, we will subtract rational numbers using the properties of addition. So we have your example, negative 1 and 3/8 minus 8 and 1/2 minus negative 6 and 7/8. So the first thing you will do is change all the mixed numbers into improper fractions. So this one is 8 times 1 is 8 plus 3 is 11 over 8. Bring down the negative sign. Minus, this one is 8 times 2 is 16 plus 1 is 17 over 2. Minus negative, this one is 6 times 8 is 48 plus 7 is 55 over 8. Next thing is look at the denominators. So we have here 8, 2, and 8. Perform the fractions that has the same denominators first. So you will use the commutative property of addition. So this one and this have the same denominators. So negative 11 over 8 minus negative 55 over 8. And then this one should be here at the last, minus 17 over 2. Like denominators, so use the LCO for subtraction. So keep negative 11 over 8. Change the minus sign to plus sign. Opposite of negative 55 over 8 is 55 over 8. Then bring this down, minus 17 over 2. Now you notice that we have here one negative sign, the other is positive. So that means they are fractions of different signs. So here, different signs you will subtract. 55 minus 11 is 44 over 8. And take the sign of the higher absolute value. So 55 is bigger than 11. So the sign here is positive. Then minus 17 over 2. Simplify 44 over 8 and that will give you 5 and 1/2. Then bring this down, minus 17 over 2. Since this is mixed number, change this to improper fraction. So this is 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Keep the denominator, minus 17 over 2. Now, 11 over 2, which is this one, minus 17 over 2, which is this. We will apply the LCO. So leave 11 over 2, change this to addition sign. Opposite of 17 over 2 is negative 17 over 2. Positive, negative, subtract. So 17 minus 11 is 6. Keep the denominator, which is 2. Now take the sign of the higher absolute value. So 17 is bigger than 11. So this is negative 6 over 2. Then simplify. So 6 over 2 is equal to 3 and the sign is negative. Next is finding the distance. Example, find the distance between negative 1/3 and negative 2. If you are asked to find the distance, that means that you will find the absolute value of the difference. So when we say distance, that is the difference between this number and this number. We will rewrite this, negative 2 minus negative 1/3. Since it is absolute value, place this in an absolute value sign. Now, applying the rule, leave change opposite. So leave -2, change minus to plus. Opposite of -1/3 is 1/3. Do not forget to put that in the absolute value sign. Now here, this is a whole number, this is a fraction. So make your whole number a fraction. So this is -2/1 plus 1/3. You know, so make sure that you will turn this into like fraction. So that means you will multiply 2/1 by 3/3 plus 1/3, which is this. So do not forget the absolute value sign. So -2 times 3 is -6. Keep the denominator 3 plus 1/3. So absolute value sign. Now, we have here negative and positive. So that means you will subtract. 6 minus 1 is 5, and keep your denominator. Now 6 is bigger than 1, so the sign is negative. Don't forget to write the absolute value sign. Then simplify -5/3, and that is -1 and 2/3. So that means the distance between -1/3 and -2 is 1 and 2/3. I hope you learned something from our lesson today. So I'll see you again in our next video.